So Karen, I've had a lifelong battle with my weight, my body image. I'm a really active person and I've always used activity to control my weight, but as I'm getting older, it's actually getting harder, and I really think now I need to try and crack the nutrition piece. But actually I don't really understand much about nutrition. I've read loads of articles on Facebook, on LinkedIn, but I don't actually understand the basics. So can you just tell me what the basics are of nutrition that I should know?
I think your absolute basics, it's to rephrase it in your head, to get rid of the word diet and to get rid of the word about what I'm eating. And it's about nutrition, it's about what you put into your body gives you that energy that comes out of it. So to get rid of the diet, the calories, and just start thinking about, actually it's about what I put in gives me the energy that comes out. So if you're not eating enough, then you haven't got enough energy. If you're eating too much, then you've got too much going on there. So it's about just finding that healthy balance for you.
Okay, and how do you do that practically? Because whenever I think about eating food, whether I'm in the supermarket or I'm looking at a menu, all I think about is calories.
Right, okay. Well, you can get really complex about how you start looking at nutrition as a whole. You can start looking at macronutrients, micronutrients, carbohydrates, fats, protein, and you're going to get into an absolute minefield
really
of everything.
Confused.
Yeah. So your absolute basics were, if you had a plate of food in front of you, so you'd have half vegetables on there, so nice and green, lots of colour,
orange,
and
carrots,
all those nice pretty colours on your plate, and then you'd have a quarter of your plate would be your protein, so your fish, your meat, your tofu, that kind of thing, and then a quarter would be your carbohydrates, your pasta, your potatoes, your rice, so nice and simple. So if you looked at it, you could split it into quarters, so half would be one, a quarter and a quarter.
So carbohydrates, I just think I should avoid them, whether it's in alcohol or foods. Is that right, or is that a bit of a myth around actually the best way to lose weight?
Yeah, it's an absolute myth, because your body needs carbohydrates. It needs everything. It needs fat, it needs carbohydrates, and it needs the nutrients from the vegetables and the fruit that you eat. So it's an absolute myth, to be honest with you. You do need to have some. Okay. So when I'm out eating out with friends or in the supermarket, what are the sort of things that I can think about to help me with my new sort of nutrition? So if you had 5 tips for me, what would they be? Well, your first thing would be to follow that plate. So whatever food you have in the day, if you had 3 regular meals that followed that plate with a couple of snacks in between, then that would be absolutely perfect. So whenever you're out anywhere, whenever you're picking something off the shelf, just think, is half of it vegetables? And then you've not got far to follow on from that. So that would be the first tip that you've got.
You mentioned snacks. Snacks are the big one for me, because I like to eat a lot all the time. So snacks is probably where I go wrong. What's a healthy snack? People talk about a healthy snack. I know a donut's not a healthy snack.
In moderation, it can be a healthy snack, but on the whole, you don't want to be eating 4 donuts as your snacks in a day.
You're no fun.
So, a healthy snack would be something that you can sort of hold in your hand and eat straight away. So an apple, a couple of oranges, even a piece of toast with some peanut butter or something on, if you wanted something a little bit more substantial. But definitely. So the one of the next top tips would be, don't starve yourself. So if you feel hungry throughout the day, then that's your body saying you need to eat. And if you don't eat, what ends up happening is you end up craving food. So you can starve yourself all day and eat hardly anything. You get to 6 o'clock, you get home, you've had a measly little dinner because you're thinking in your head, right, okay, I'm doing really well here. But then what ends up happening is we die for the Haribo or whatever, the biscuits in the cupboard, and you end up binge eating. So whatever good you've done throughout the day, it's been lost straight away. So don't starve yourself. Make sure you're eating often throughout the day, so you're not getting to that point where you think, right, my body needs, I'm craving something. sort of another top tip would be to eat a balanced breakfast.
Okay.
So by eating breakfast every day, you're setting yourself up for that day.
Okay.
It's getting your metabolism going.
Yeah.
So a good balanced breakfast, and you can get into really complex things about, well, what shall I eat for breakfast? You know, has cereal got sugar in? Yes, it has. You know, that could be another piece for another day that we could sit down and talk about. But
my sugar addiction's definitely another piece.
Yeah, eat breakfast. Top
breakfast. What would you have for breakfast? What would you recommend?
Every day I eat fruit, whether it's frozen fruit out of the freezer, and then I put yogurt on, full fat Greek yogurt, and then I sprinkle granola on the top. So that's my plate, as it were. So half of it would be the fruit and veg, a quarter's that yogurt, so that's the protein,
that makes sense.
and then the granola on the top. So that would be sort of the next top tip, as it were. And then cut down on the amount of processed food that you eat. So if it comes out of a jar or a packet, then the chances are it's more processed than something that you've cooked out of the ground. So if it's vegetables that you've then cooked, there's nothing added to it. So the less processed, the better. And the last would be to just enjoy your food. Enjoy it, because it's what's keeping you alive, it's what's keeping you going, it's what's giving you the energy for that day. So if you're not enjoying it, then maybe have another look at, you know, how can I keep it nice and balanced and enjoy it.
I love food and I want to enjoy it. I don't want to starve myself, be on a diet, which is why I really want to try and understand nutrition better. I don't do a lot of processed food, actually, but the thing I get really confused about is looking at a snack with sugar in. So there's a lovely looking chocolate brownie here and a flapjack. The chocolate thing looks smaller than the flapjack, and all I'm thinking of, should I have the smaller one because it's probably got less calories in, rather than the flapjack, which looks kind of too big and I might go over my kind of limits. I know they're both kind of natural products, but I don't really know which one to choose.
Sometimes it's not about which is the most healthy, it's about what you need at that time. So if you really want the bigger one, then have the bigger one, because if it's going to stop you having something later on, because you're going to go, actually I had that, I've had a good treat today and I don't want to have anything else later, then that would be a better thing to have than you have the smaller and then later on you're still thinking, oh, I still want more sugar, or I still want something sweet. So it's about what you need at that time.
I quite like the idea of one treat a day.
Yeah, definitely.
A natural kind of product that's got sugar in, but I can have one treat a day and actually enjoy it.
Yeah, if you can stick to that, then you won't be far wrong, along with your little Eat Well plate.
Excellent.